Compare owning a $2 million home that drains $5,000 a month in upkeep against receiving a highly predictable, automated $500 a month, completely tax-free. Most people chase the status of the house, but only the recurring cash flow buys back your actual freedom. Standard financial advice funnels the majority of the population into a structural trap, hoarding equity in primary residences and restricted retirement accounts. You cannot liquidate a corner of your living room to pay for immediate expenses, and withdrawing from a 401k early often triggers aggressive government penalties. Wealth architects prioritize liquid velocity. This measures the absolute capital you can actively access, maneuver, and deploy in the short term, without being forced to sell your home or exit the workforce. To reach that state, you must navigate a 5-step cash flow ladder and secure your earnings inside 7 specific, eternal stores of value. The Rockefeller family has successfully utilized these specific asset classes to maintain their purchasing power for over a century and a half. Similarly, the Rothschild dynasty has maintained its financial position since before the Napoleonic era by following this exact structural blueprint. Multi-generational wealth relies on an automated, high-velocity system that is designed to survive the natural decay of family fortunes. The mid-century concept of a 40-year career followed by a comfortable retirement is a mathematical impossibility for most. Currently, the median retirement account balance for Americans aged 55 to 64 is just $185,000. This is a $600,000 savings base fighting a $4,000 monthly living cost. That outbound expense is your burn rate. If active labor ceases and yields remain at zero, that $600,000 disappears in exactly 12 years. You've engineered a countdown to bankruptcy. True resilience requires an architecture where your passive yields permanently absorb your monthly burn rate, making the principal balance irrelevant. Building that machine begins at step 1, active labor sourcing. You trade specialized skills or manual labor for a salary. While mandatory at the start, this contains a built-in bottleneck. Your earning capacity is hard-capped by the 24-hour biological clock. Step 2 involves widening the spread. By enforcing strict lifestyle discipline as your income rises, you create an operational margin. This dry powder becomes your seed capital for the next rung. In steps 3 and 4, you direct that margin into dividend stocks, real estate syndications, and scalable digital funnels. You then install property managers and automated systems to purposefully remove the human operator completely from the loop. You eventually reach step 5, total system coupling. At this threshold, your recurring non-active yields fully cover your monthly burn rate, making active labor a choice rather than a survival requirement. Managing high-velocity capital from global hubs in Tokyo or Paris grants you geographic freedom, but it exposes your liquid assets to malicious intercepts. This diagram shows how a NordVPN encrypted tunnel secures your cash flow. Wealth architects wrap their connections in military-grade encryption. Establish this defense at nordvpn.com/themoneyformula for 4 extra months on a 2-year plan. Decoupling your time from your income and strictly shielding your digital connection provides you with absolute, unbound freedom. Once the engine is generating capital, that wealth remains vulnerable to the systemic collapse or hyperinflation of fiat currencies. Real estate serves as a primary store of value because of its finite nature. This is why Bill Gates has quietly become the largest private owner of farmland in America, controlling over 270,000 acres. Prime geographic real estate compounds over centuries because governments can print more currency, but they cannot print more land. Blue chip stocks provide a different kind of vault. Warren Buffett protects his wealth by holding century-old businesses that provide essential human needs, allowing his portfolio to survive global depressions and world wars. Precious metals like gold and silver represent the ultimate wealth insurance. They are globally accepted resources that have maintained purchasing power for 5,000 years without requiring a banking system. These first 3 assets convert fragile paper currency into tangible, universally recognized permanence. During periods of intense geopolitical chaos, the ultra-wealthy use government debt as a financial bunker. Swiss bonds remained stable during World War II because they were backed by a neutral nation with a history of extreme financial reliability. Fine art and collectibles offer a store of value that exists entirely outside of corporate earnings or interest rates. Their worth is derived purely from extreme, provable scarcity. Original masterworks by Pablo Picasso securely park millions of dollars in capital because the supply is fixed and the cultural demand is global. Hedge fund managers utilize modern artifacts, such as the works of Andy Warhol, as a strategic asset class to store excess liquidity in a system-agnostic form. Limited production cycles and racing pedigree turn vintage Ferraris into appreciating asset classes. Their scarcity often causes them to double in price over time, outperforming standard market indices. Cryptocurrency has emerged as a digital vault for similar reasons. Bitcoin is utilized by billionaires because its hard-capped 21 million supply makes it decentralized and unseizable. Whether it is a vintage engine or a digital ledger, the core rule of preservation is the acquisition of assets with a strictly finite supply. The final store value on the board is internal financial education and critical thinking. Physical properties can burn and national currencies can collapse, but operational knowledge and mental frameworks cannot be seized or destroyed. This makes your intellect the only asset that remains fully functional regardless of the external environment. The Alex app is designed to build this specific mental architecture, providing a toolkit that teaches the generation-spanning rules of wealth. The only mathematical path to permanent freedom is to stop trading time for currency, invest in your own intellect, and engineer a self-sustaining cash flow machine.